Friends, guests, and adventurers of all ages, tonight's show is for the brave, the fearless, and the dangerously curious. Witness feats of strength, daring acrobatics, and mystifying magic. Get ready to have the most astounding night of your life. Welcome to the Circus of Wayward Wonders. Welcome to Roll for Combat, Three-Ring Adventure.
Hey everyone, welcome to Roll for Combat, Three-Ring Adventure. I'm your GM and host, Steven Glicker, and in this week's episode, the gang decide to start their next big adventure, head over to the hermitage, and Hap has to decide if she wants to be an adventurer or a zookeeper. So this week, we get to explore one of the oldest tropes in D&D and Pathfinder, and that is the dungeon crawl. A dungeon crawl is very simply a series of rooms that are filled with monsters, treasures, and traps, and you need to go in and either clear it all, get the MacGuffin, or die trying, and that's it. Obviously, everyone has done a dungeon crawl. Countless of video games are based on the dungeon crawl mechanic. You can say dungeon crawl, people know what it is. The thing about a dungeon crawl that's usually kind of the same is that once you start the dungeon crawl, you can't really stop it until you get to the end. Sometimes there's a town nearby, but usually there's not. Like in this case, they're going to be in the middle of nowhere, so if they're going to start this adventure, they're not finishing until they are done or dead. And that's it, because they're far from civilization. And I really enjoy dungeon crawls, but they're actually fairly tricky to run. And one thing I learned about dungeon crawls is that there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. When I ran Emerald Spire, which is nothing more than a dungeon crawl, it's literally just levels and levels of dungeon. Every level was written by someone else at Paizo, and every level had its own completely different look and feel and map and so forth. We ran it, and it started off so much fun. We were having a great time. But after a while, it just became really kind of too much of the same thing. And it was level after level of just fighting. And you know what I learned is that you really kind of need a story. You can't just have someone go into a dungeon and just fight. There's nothing to it. There's nothing connecting everything together. And it seems like fun for a while, but it gets really samey, It's like you're just getting higher level and killing more monsters and going to another room, and after you do it the first 50, 60, 70 times, it gets kind of old really quick. And I never ever thought that would actually happen. I was really excited when I started Emerald Spire. But once we got about halfway through it, I kind of was done. I was like, you know what? This is really getting kind of samey. And I tried to add a little bit of a story to it and a little bit more with the Hell Knights and trying to add more to it, but it's hard. It's hard to actually turn a dungeon into a living entity that has a full-fledged story. Now, those of you who know Emerald Spire know that there actually is a story, but it's really small compared to the ones that we're doing here, like on Plaguestone or this podcast, or well, pretty much any of our podcasts, really. It's like a small appetizer compared to these, and it's just not enough. So with that in mind, I do like dungeon crawls, but I do like them in a finite size. And this adventure has 4 parts to it. And the first 2 parts, you can tell are, well, they weren't really dungeon crawls. They were just sort of the first part. Well, I guess funny. The first part's kind of like a dungeon crawl, but the first part was a non-linear dungeon crawl of them trying to take out the monsters in the camp, and they could do it in any order they want. So it was kind of a dungeon crawl, but they were able to go back to a home base and rest up and so forth. The second part was just a non-linear adventure where they had little missions they had to go on, and they could do those also in pretty much any order and rest up in between the missions. But this part, and this is part 3 of this module, this is a dungeon crawl. This is, they got to go in, and they ain't leaving until they find out what is happening. And there is a part 4. I'm not going to tell you what the part 4 is, but we're officially halfway through this module at this point. This is the official halfway point. And whether it's going to go faster or slower, I'm not sure. One thing about dungeon crawls is they usually go much faster because there's not a ton of character development. But as I said before, we are spending time and downtime for the characters to talk and to do some character development and some role playing, and some pretty shocking things actually happen in this dungeon. One thing you're going to notice is the characters are going to learn a lot about themselves. For example, Hap really loves animals, and I am curious to see what happens is when she starts getting attacked by animals that obviously don't want to be her friend and just want to kill her. How is she going to handle that? And you've seen it in the past, and she has not handled it well. When she tried to talk to the snakes and be nice to them, they bit her in the face and she almost died. So it's going to be interesting to see how the characters develop and change. One thing these people are really good at is attacking and using tactics in combination of their character traits. For example, Hap will complain and try very hard not to hurt animals. Atron has their own thing going on, which we're going to explore more in this part of the module in quite extensive amounts. Alhara is going to find out that she really likes adventuring, even more than she realized. And Darius, well, we'll see what happens to Darius. Let's just say he learns quite a bit about himself in this portion of the module. Real quick, a few things. Don't forget, do check out the Patreon. If you do $10, you can listen to us live. Action Jackson is there every week. Action Jackson, our #1 Patreon, not only does he participate and help out the PCs, he actually helped John Statz not die in the last Black Lodge. If you listen to the last episode of Tale 3, he was about to die. And thankfully, our Patreon was there because he caught a rule that we made a mistake on and saved his life. And I don't mean dead as in, oh, he's just down. I mean as in dead forever. Like never, ever coming back, and we retire that character and he rolls up a new one. So the Patreons not only get to watch us, but they get to interact and help us. So that was a big savior. Thank God for Action Jackson. But for $10, you can watch us and talk to us during the show. You can watch us on video. You can actually see the show itself. It's all broadcast through Discord. And speaking of Discord, if you check out our Discord channel, just discord.rollforcombat.com, and you too can join our Discord channel. You can play games. You can chat. If you get to level 10, you get a free t-shirt. So check that out. But with that, let's get to this week's exciting episode. So last we left off, you performed your circus, and you did too well, and somehow made less money than the first circus, which doesn't quite make sense. We'll just chalk that up to mechanics by Paizo, which is a thing. But don't worry about that for now. All we need to know is that the circus was a huge success, and that everyone loved the circus. And now you're the talk of the town, and pretty much everyone in the town has more or less seen the circus, which means if you're going to put on a show again, you're probably not going to do nearly as well, just because you're running out of patrons of the circus, because this town only has about 1,000 people. And you decided after the circus that maybe, just maybe, someone should go check out where the mayor has disappeared to, because the mayor went to the hermitage of Blessed Lightning and has not come back. And it's been several days. And of course, who else to go but the heroes of Aberton, because you have killed those demons, you took care of the muggers, you've been putting on amazing shows, you got bacon for the whole town, so you have become the de facto heroes of Aberton, whether you like it or not. So you have been drafted into service, which I guess is how heroes begin. However, before we even get into all of that, there is something new, is that we managed to get a sneak peek preview of the Advanced Player's Guide, which means we finally got a chance to switch up Alhara and Ataran with their official swashbuckler and witch classes, which is good because they're only level 3, and we haven't even really used any of the level 3 abilities, so it's only really level 1 and level 2 we're using the playtest. And the good news is that not much really changed, kind of. Alhara is more or less the same. It was just some of the feats were changed when you can get them, so you just had to rearrange a little bit on your feats. I believe. But otherwise, you're pretty much the same, correct, Vanessa?
Pretty much the same.
Vanessa Hoskins is playing Alhara Varys, the amazingly agile Alhara, a half-elf gymnast swashbuckler.
The big change is that Tumble Behind is now a second level swashbuckler feat instead of first level, which as a designer is actually a really good move. Tumble Behind is pretty powerful, and making it second level makes a lot of sense. The bad news for Alhara is that I can no longer take the Staff Acrobat archetype and Tumble Behind. And since Tumble Behind is so much in her fighting style and what she does, I went ahead and kept that, and I'm going to forgo Staff Acrobat for now.
Otherwise, more or less the same.
More or less the same.
Yeah.
Swashbucklers also at third level and beyond get some additional skill feats associated with their style. So what I was able to do is, instead of having to use my general feat to get Powerful Leap, I can get that as my Swashbuckler class feature, and instead I got Assurance for the medicine skill, which allows me to more reliably heal during downtime.
And the other one is Ataran. Now, the Witch did change significantly. The biggest one is Evil Eye, because Evil Eye was originally required a focus point, and you need to use 2 actions to cast it, and it can cause Frightened 1, 2, or 3. Even on success, it would do Frightened 1, but now it is just a free cantrip. It only takes 1 action, and on a success, nothing happens to the monster, so it's only Frightened 1 or Frightened 2. And you have less spells. So a fair amount actually changed on the Witch, correct?
Yeah, the Evil Eye also, the maintained negative effect will only remain at 1. So if they critically fail and they get Frightened 2, even if Ataran sustains it, it will drop down to Frightened 1 and then stay at Frightened 1. So also that changed as well.
Rob Pontius is playing Ataran, Uncanny Ataran's Cauldron of Curious Concoctions, a human witch of curses.
The familiar also now comes with a focus power that allows you to kind of like save them in a dire situation. Not that the familiar death is that detrimental, but it's at least very good for the character. Also gained another skill training. In this case, took Arcana. And instead of getting days for free, now the theme of Curse gives Ray of Enfeeblement. So to handle that, got rid of the message cantrip, so I could still have days for Ataran. Otherwise, yeah, like you said, less spells per day. And, no more free Cackle. Cackle now is much better, but it's a class feat, so you don't get it for free. And Ataran won't have that.
Yeah, the Witch, as expected, because it's a spellcaster, changed significantly, I think, from the playtest. The Swashbuckler was really just moving things around. The Swashbuckler, I felt, wasn't changed too much. It just really, they sort of move things and powers around. But obviously,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The Witch was significantly modified, but I don't think in a bad way. I personally think Evil Eye was like way too powerful, especially looking at the power of all the other spells in this game, and I think it's a good balance. You can cast it a lot more frequently, and you got the best of both worlds because you got the super powerful version at levels 1 and 2, which is when you really needed it, and now you're at higher level when you usually see more than one enemy, and you'll be able to then use it like every round if you want.
Yeah.
And it's fast.
The benefit is definitely that you can do it at only 1 action, where it only was a glare before, so 1 action makes sense, just somatic. And being able to use it once per minute on an enemy, but a number of enemies per combat because it's a cantrip at least, really will help sort of debuff different enemies, especially when we have a couple, or 3 or more, as it is.
And then one more thing I wanted to say is I did give Hap and Darius the opportunity to also rebuild their characters, because there were a lot of new things in there for sorcerers and monks and new feats and just abilities, but both of them said no. They almost did, but both of them said no, which is fine. But going forward, they have access to the APG all they want. So anything in the Advanced Player's Guide can be used going forward, unless it's unless it's uncommon or rare, which there's a fair amount in that, then we have to talk. But otherwise, there's quite a bit new things in there for everybody. So, which I like. I like having more. I like having more abilities for everyone in general. Not to the point that it's detrimental and breaks the game, which will probably not happen for several years down the road. But eventually, when you get to like Pathfinder 1, where there was just so many feats and so many abilities that you could very easily break the game if you took just the right combo. But right now, we're not even close to that point. So we got a long way to go before that. So
I am really excited about one of these new spells, but for level 3, it just didn't make sense. Maybe next level.
Lauren Sig is playing Hap, the Starlight Sparrow, a human fire elementalist sorcerer.
Yeah, there's an archetype that Darius is eyeing up for level 4. We'll see.
Rob Tremarco is playing Darius Varus, Darius's Daring Destructions, a half-elf monk of the mountain style.
oh, okay. And there were some new cool stances in there for the monk. I thought were pretty cool.
I
So,
did like the gorilla one,
the gorilla.
in
The
there.
gorilla stance was very funny.
but
I like that one.
yeah, that is a fun one. So maybe later when I get another stance feed or something.
So as we said before, you are ready to maybe, perhaps, go to the hermitage. It's up to you. You had a successful show. You got some more money in the kitty for the circus. So it's another day. What are you gonna do? You just gonna hang out? You just gonna hang out with Violet, have some more bacon and eggs, hang around the town, or are you gonna become the adventurers you've meant
Well,
to be?
First, we went to the market to buy some scrolls and our potions.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yep.
Then we were going to head to the hermitage, which is to the west.
Northwest.
The first thing I want to do is find out why we're keeping our currency in felines.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No one does. No one
Because you
knows.
said kitty.
You said we put our money in the kitty.
It's like a piggy bank, but not.
Yeah.
That's for the circus money, because the circus money can only be spent on the circus. That's
So it goes in the tiger. Okay.
yes.
Actually, we now keep the circus money in the lockbox from the Haftons.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's a good idea. All right,
There
so
you
we
go.
finished our shopping. I mean, we're basically ready to head out, aren't we?
I think we're ready to head out.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
It's just a bunch
Druids.
of crazy druids that worship
Druids.
demons. I mean, it's fine.
Are you ready?
Well,
I'm ready.
I'll say goodbye to Dad, and then I'll be ready to head out.
Okay. They see you off. The professor gives you a big old hug and tells you, "Don't worry about us. We'll be fine here. We'll get ready for another show and take care of the animals. Everything should be fine."
I'm worried about us.
Well, that is true, but everyone here is looking up to you. You've done so much for the town already, and it looks like you have a lot of healing. How many healing scrolls do you have now?
I've got
37.
4.
4, and everyone, yeah, you should be okay. You should be good. Just remember what I always say. When in danger, run away.
Yes.
You do say that a lot.
In fact, we need to a little more. That is wise.
But in all seriousness, just take care of yourself and try not to jump into situations without fully understanding what you're getting yourself into. Usually spending a minute or two understanding your opponents is all the difference that matters between winning and losing a battle.
We've also had a talk about communicating issues more, so I think we are getting better in our strategy.
And he brings up a good point. Maybe we should do some reconnaissance in the future.
That preferably is Alhara.
Yeah, I can definitely scout ahead. I have always been on the quieter side.
That's
Dad
never been
noticed.
true. You've never been on the quieter side.
Yes, I have. Dad never noticed when I would sneak out when I was just a kid. So,
I knew.
Well,
This
I usually
sounds
told you.
Personal.
That's true. That's why I knew you told me.
Oh, Atron, don't pretend like you don't know.
What's that supposed to mean?
You were good about sneaking around the Hafton mill? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. True.
Does this have something to
And-
do with the rumors I've been hearing?
About the Hafton Mill?
Yes, that's right, about the Hafton Mill. Let's get going.
let's just say I can handle the job.
With that, you leave town.
As we start to leave the camp, Ataran will again gesture towards the sky and reach towards the heavens, and they chant Hami Shalet as they draw down a coruscating black and violet energy and pull it into their mouth as I cast False Life.
What's that taste like?
It tastes mostly of, I guess, licorice-like?
That's not too bad. I can't imagine sky licorice, but I'll sure try to.
So that gives you 39 hit points, correct?
Woohoo! Yes, sir.
Okay, you're gonna need them.
Yep.
So you know where to go. It's 12 miles west of town and a bit north along the coast. You start walking. Your journey is uneventful. Eventually, the path leads down near the sea cliffs. After several hours, it's slowly getting wetter and wetter and louder as you are right next to the ocean. And this area seems to have quite a bit of waves and quite a bit of angry ocean, if you will. It's almost as if this hermitage was built right on a spot that purposely had wind and waves. What a coincidence.
I can't believe they didn't plan it like that.
Well, it is a hermitage for Gozra, who is the god of wind and waves. So, let's switch over, shall we? So how long would it take you guys to go 12 miles while I'm doing this?
Let's see what Google has to say about that.
It's
Page
not Google,
470.
it's the rules.
Oh, yeah, the rule book.
Excuse me, 479. I believe the slowest among us is a base speed of 25 feet. We go 2.5 miles per hour, so we can go 20 miles per day. It takes less than a day.
It was 4 miles away?
12 miles away.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So 5 hours.
Okay, so what time do you think you're here? You're probably rested.
Yeah, we had like our big breakfast and stuff
Early in the
again.
morning.
So
Yeah.
probably left it around, 10. Get there around 3 in the afternoon.
Sound good. Okay, tell me, what do you see? Let me see, I'm going to look on my sheet. See what you see to make sure I'm showing you the right thing.
Let's see. We're down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. I see a
Coastline.
set of double doors, a coastline. Yep.
Perfect.
Rocks.
Wow, okay, good. Let me just stop for a second.
Druids. I see druids.
No, we don't.
I see skies of blue, red roses too.
I throw Hap in the ocean. You cold now?
If you're gonna
Probably
sing it, you
feels
should
good.
sing it.
Pass out some sky
I'm not
licorice.
good at singing. I know what I'm good at, and that ain't it.
Ooh.
Besides, you have to do the Sachimo voice if you're gonna do it.
So you go down a path. It leads down along the cliffs. There's no fences or guide rails along the path, which averages a narrow 5 feet wide. The wind is strong enough to deter all but the most determined visitors. Eventually, you reach an area where you believe you've reached the hermitage. It rests on a jutting cliff about 50 feet above the tumultuous sea, which smashes against the rocks below. I will tell you what you see. This wide ledge jets from the cliff 50 feet above the inner sea, but is nonetheless splashed with spray and smells strongly of salt. 2 buildings hug close to the cliff wall. One is made of stone, blackened in places as though from severe spot fires. The other is a large shed made of weathered wood. On top of the shed, you notice several seagulls that are making lots of noise and squawking. But you also notice something else in front of you.
Oh no.
Dracula frogs.
Oh dear.
Looks like 2 very large fanged frogs.
Hold on.
I see a barbarian woman in skimpy armor with a giant sword. Oh wait,
Is
that's
she here to
just
help
the
us? Those frogs even have beautiful eye makeup on.
Okay, so you see in front of you, to paint a tale, You went down this cliff face. The cliff face was very narrow, only 5 feet. Eventually, it opens up into a much larger cliff face. You see what must be the hermitage. It sticks out from the rock, but only a very small portion of it. It must go way further into the cliff face, and that is made of stone and looks like it is blackened all over. There is to the north a building made of wood that has some seagulls on it. In front of the doors, you notice 2 very large frog-like beasts with large tusks and seem to have slime coming off of their bodies. They seem to be sitting there trying to get the seagulls and are patiently waiting to, looks like, eat them. However, as you approach, they sort of lazily look towards you and just stare at you with large dead eyes. That's it.
May I roll knowledge nature to identify that animal?
No, but I can.
Please do.
I was going to ask you for the same to roll about the creatures.
So, Hap looks at those creatures and does not know what they are. Hap thinks there's some large frog-like creature, but she cannot identify them with her nature. Who's
Guys,
next?
I've met a lot of animals. I've never met anything like that.
Octeron would try to recall what they are. Considering they might have a demon kind of link here at the hermitage, I will try to recall with occultism.
They're not demons. They are definitely animals, and they look like large, bulbous frogs with fangs. And you don't believe they're demons, but you don't know what they are either, other that they look like they like eating birds.
Okay.
Do you think they're going to leave us alone?
Do I need to check with nature, or am I good? Yeah, can I try with nature then if I don't think they're demons?
Yeah, you check with nature. You try to rack your brain. They're not demons, but you don't know what type of animal they are. You just you look at them and go, they're some large frog type creature, but neither of you knows what they are exactly.
I am sure if we try to go by, they are going to stop us. I don't know what they are, but druid guards. Any animal we see could be some sort of sentry, let alone some druids can shape change into animals, so...
Should we call out? I mean, if we... I'm not assuming everyone in here is a problem, or like the one we fought with the rat hat.
I almost
Perhaps.
suspect they will be worse.
I have seen nothing yet other than we know the sheriff is missing. But maybe he got the mayor. I'm sorry. We know the mayor is missing, but maybe he was eaten before he got to the door by one of those creatures. I don't even know.
Does this building have windows?
No, not in this part. There's no windows whatsoever.
Maybe we should look for another way. The size of those tusks tells you that those are males, and from an evolutionary standpoint, those were probably developed as a means of fighting each other. These are definitely a territorial species.
Aren't there some animals that the females fight each other? Lions, I think it was.
It's extremely rare, but it does happen.
Well, I'm not going to check the undercarriage of these creatures to know why they want to bite me, but they will bite me. I know it. But that's the thing. Do we call out for the druids? Maybe they can tell these creatures to back away? Or do we go in fists blazing?
Why don't we just look for a back door?
Isn't it built into the side of a mountain?
Yeah, there's like
It
cliffs
is
and cliffs.
literally built into the side of a mountain.
Why don't we look for a back door to the mountain?
Do you think we can lure them away?
Maybe if there's
that's
food
a good
that they like.
idea.
Oh, can you
They're clearly
attract a bird and
interested
make
in the
them-
birds.
make the bird fly around them, or some sort of magical bird that they can't tell from real?
Yeah, then they'll eat the bird and not us, and maybe we can get by.
Can we use a nature to attract a seagull?
Or bird lore?
Oh, or avian
Bird
lore.
lore.
I do have bird lore, but lore is intelligence based, so nature is actually better for me.
Bird lore has to make the DC -15.
All right,
It's
all right.
called like birds named
Yeah, that's
John
true.
lore.
Steve, I would like to use avian lore to attract a seagull.
Okay. There are seagulls around, and probably your best bet would be to drop a whole bunch of food. They're very skittish seagulls, so you're going to have to drop it, a good 5-10 feet away from you. So
Yeah, like
you'd
behind us.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'll do. I'll take out some of my hard tack. I think that's the old term for bread, and I'll crumble it up and leave it in a little pile, and then I'll kind of motion for everyone to step back, and then I'll pull out my crossbow.
Yeah.
She's gonna shoot a bird.
I'm gonna
Aderon
feel real
starts
bad about it, but it's
stepping
important.
back.
We have to
Wait,
do
are
it.
you trying to what are you trying to do?
Attract the
exactly?
seagull to kill it to throw past the slurk so they
Yeah.
go chase it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Slurks
Cool.
love a good seagull dinner. That's all I know from
Okay,
this whole
I didn't know what you
conversation.
were trying to do. Okay, I thought you were trying to attract it to lure the slurks near you, but you're trying
No,
to kill.
away.
Oh, you're
We're
trying to
gonna
make them
feed
go
the
away from
slurk.
you. Got
The
it.
slurk,
Yeah.
like throw it 20 feet past them or something. They
Got
go,
it.
"Oh, I'm a slurk. I love seagulls. That's nature." And then they go eat it. Then they fight because they're males with fangs.
It's the
Or females with
circle
fangs.
of life.
females with fangs.
Okay.
Right. When they
Um,
go to eat the seagull, we can check exactly what is happening underneath, so the theories can be confirmed.
Great. So I won't even waste time on this. I will say that you're able to spend some time for this and throw some food down, wait, Hap's there with her crossbow, and after a few tries, I'll say you're able to get one of the seagulls, you snare it, and you have a seagull on your crossbow. The slurks look kind of interested. They're watching this carefully. Like as you're doing this, they're not approaching you, but they're watching this as they see you with the seagull. Do you try to get any more, or what are you trying to do here?
Yeah, let's grab
Let's get
let's
two.
get a few
Let's get two.
seagulls. But let's hand this bird to someone else and have them step even further back.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Slurks are inching up a little when they see that.
Oh, no.
They're not going towards you, but they're getting closer. Like ooh. When they see that, they're all excited.
Ooh, we like it.
I would
When you-
recommend more than a couple. We want to keep them busy.
I mean, you know that old saying, feed a slurk a seagull and they eat for a day. Teach a slurk to shoot
To
a crossbow
seagull.
at a seagull. Teach it, and then they eat forever.
Okay, well, I'll say you spend a little bit more time. You get a second seagull, and it takes a little bit longer this time because they're getting wild to your ways, but they're not the smartest things. But it's very windy here, and it's wet, and Hap's
Meanwhile-
getting soaked. Everyone is, but Hap's dress is like all soaked through her.
A seagull would fight God for half a bagel, so they'll
Meanwhile-
definitely want these breadcrumbs.
Meanwhile,
That's
I have
true.
an idea.
True.
So Alhara is going to use her rope lore and her rope that she's got to basically tie like a slip harness around this seagull so she can let it go when she wants, and essentially create a seagull sling out of her bow staff and some
Yeah.
rope. That way she can fling it way past the slurks.
Okay, you do that. You figure that out.
Tie the seagulls together and send a bundle of seagulls.
Yes, I used rope lore. I actually did
Seagull
it
chucks.
before level 10. I can't believe it.
Well, I'm not. Yeah. So you have two seagulls, and they're
Okay.
starting to very intently look at you. So you're wondering if two it might be pushing your luck if you're trying to go for more than that. They seem
Yeah,
to. They're looking at you very.
2 is good. 2 is good.
2 is good.
We don't want to hit critical mass and have them attack us, so
Right.
All right.
Covered in seagull blood.
All right, so Alhara is going to sling the first one. I don't want it so far past them that they're like, what the heck, are you teasing us? I just want it enough to excite them. So I'm trying to put it just to the other side of the slurks, maybe 10, 20 feet past them.
Okay. You have the
Okay.
eagle. Sorry, you have the seagull.
The seagull has landed.
Are you just going to try to chuck two separately or one at a time?
One
One
Sorry,
at a
at
time.
a time.
Sorry, one at a time or two together is what I meant to say.
One at a time. The first one is just to sort of get them excited and get them turned away from us and their attention away from us on some other end. And then the other one is I'm going to try to huck as far as I can. So it looks like the base range of a sling is 50 feet, and I've basically made myself an improvised seagull sling. So I'm going to try to huck this thing 50 feet. I should only be going for like AC 5.
Huck is my favorite verb.
Huck.
That's a great one.
And I didn't fail,
Nice.
so I double crit this thing. Yeah, 50 feet just on the other side of them to try to get their attention away from us. And then the next one, I'm just going to put like 200 feet off. I'm just going to really throw it out there because I basically want them to notice it and be heading in that direction and immediately toss the next one and try to get them to run off.
All right, so they're going after that seagull right away.
All right, and the next one. Only a 12, but that's still good enough to hit a square 200 feet away, so...
Well, where to? That's assuming there's no minuses for wind and waves, and there actually isn't 200 feet away. It actually would
Okay.
bounce into the ocean. So you can
Well,
most
then
sort of-
way further down
like 10,
past these
10
buildings.
15 feet past it. Yeah.
How about we do 2 range increments, 100 feet away?
I like it. But wait, they should be able to see it. Like, that might be too far for them.
Well, too late now. You threw it.
Yeah,
just
throw it.
all
100 feet.
the way. It's really far away from the slurks.
Hey,
Um,
Alhara now thinks this is a fun new game of like how far can you swing a
Add it to your morning regimen.
Seagull
Curtis.
tossing.
Do we want to
Seagull
play slurks
hurling.
and seagulls?
Wow.
Little-
Wow.
That was super easily. Barely an
Just gonna have to
inconvenience.
write this thing down.
Yes.
That's an easy game. That's a good game. We're gonna do it.
Hucking seagulls is tight.
I understood that reference.
Yeah, you did.
So the slurks, what are you going to do? They are very quickly devouring that first seagull. So what are you going to do?
Right.
now?
As soon as they turn to eat it, we head to the door. I think. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
let's go.
Yeah, and I'm
Yes.
pitching it down onto the second one, and as soon as they break for that one, then we'll head for the door.
Okay, start moving.
Or they haven't broken for the second one yet.
They're not going for the second one.
Why not?
They want to finish the first one. They're very good little froggies.
Oh, I figured they'd just slurp right up. All right. Well, we'll make our way over there and go in.
Lara, as soon as you enter that spot, right near the door, you realize the ground is incredibly slick and gross. Give me an acrobatics check.
You're gonna fall on your bum.
15.
15. Failure. You must remain
Ugh.
stationary to keep your balance, or you fall. If you fall, your turn ends. That's right. I read that correctly. That ends your entire turn, no matter how many
Oh,
actions
that's
you have
fun.
left. You look down at the ground, and you look around. This entire area is covered, as far as you can see, with gunk from the slurks.
Gross.
And the slurks, here's the thing you didn't realize. The slurks are huge and seagulls are small. It took them about 3 or 4 rounds to fight over the seagull and exactly 1 round for them to eat it.
I know, that's what I figured. I was waiting for them to
Yeah.
finish and then go to the second one.
Oh,
And you
they're
said
not
they're
going-
not going to go for the second one.
Oh, they're not going to the second one. There's seagulls above the shack that's closer than where you threw it.
Yeah, but they can't get to them, right? Because they're up on the shack. This
Let's
one's
just
down
see
on the
what
ground.
happens.
All right.
Oh, they can get to them. They can jump up there.
Oh, well.
They just, oh no, they can definitely get to them. They just realize that they
Frog life.
yeah, they're frogs.
Yeah, haven't you
Up
ever seen a slurk jump?
Yeah.
No.
So with that, they look towards you, and we'll see. Maybe they're not going to attack you. Who knows?
Roll for combat!
So this is all that happens. They eat the seagull. They also see you approaching. Now maybe they're going to go after the other seagull that you threw way, way off in the distance. Maybe they're going to ignore you. Who
Not that
knows?
far.
Well,
Okay.
let's see. There are seagulls that are approximately 30 feet from them on the roof of that shack, or the other seagull, which is about 60 feet from them. So it's a question if they're going to go after that or not. Now, how smart they are, whether they know whether it's dead or not, who knows? Darius is up first. What is Darius going to do? And you're near the door. Now, the door, I will mention,
Mountain stance.
It is an elaborately carved double door depicting both Gozra's forms. On the left, you see him as the sky god rising from a whirlwind of lightning in his hand, and on the right is a sea goddess surrounded by a whirlpool. The artisanship is astounding, and it is gorgeous, these double doors. They seem to be very strong, very large, probably, have survived many a lightning strike, and are still in perfect condition, so maybe even magically enhanced. Who knows? But that is what you see in front of you. What do you do?
I will. This is going to be great. Go to the door, and I will try to open the left side door. Or just, jimmy the whole door. See if how locked it is and how tough it is. They're not creaked open a little bit or anything like that, right?
Well, show me where you're going to move. Stop.
I have stopped.
As soon as you step next to Alhara, you also realize the ground there is incredibly slippery. Give me an acrobatics check. You're 10 feet from the door. Oh, so close,
Okay.
but not quite. You fail.
Mm.
You must... So you move, then you have to spend an action to balance. And you must remain stationary to keep your balance or you fall.
I take the mountain stance.
You are done. So it's 1 to move, 1 to balance, 1 to take mountain stance.
Okay.
Slurk number... Actually, let me give him a number. Slurk number 1. That was the one that managed to eat the seagull. It sort of sees that you are approaching nearby. It sort of looks to see the seagull that was thrown, and looks to see you, and looks to see the seagull, and looks to see you. It's like going back and forth, but sees there's just too many of you, and it's just going to do something. It's going to squirt slime at Alhara. So just a simple squirt.
Just make a squirt check.
It's pooping on you.
I know it's squirting me. That's
Oh, where are they squirting from? Like their
Perverse.
nose?
It's the
Their
cloaca.
eyes?
don't answer that. Please don't answer that.
So what they do is they literally are hawking a loogie at Alhara. Rolls a 19. So your AC is 20, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So it just misses you. Woohoo! That was one action.
Ugh.
It's going to hawk a loogie at Darius.
Uh-oh. Haha. Also a
18.
miss.
Oh, well, it's actually a -4, 5. I forgot. He also misses you. And then decides to move closer. And Alhara is up.
Oh dear.
Engagement.
We tried to be nice to the slurks by giving
Well-
them food.
They ate the food, but they're animals.
They haven't attacked yet.
I'm not
I mean,
saying-
they just pooped on you.
Yeah, they're
I'm
just
not saying
throwing. They're
that-
just throwing.
They're throwing
They're just
food- yeah,
throwing
spit.
slime at you. They're just hawking.
I'm just saying,
rock.
we tried to do this without a fight, and now it's time to fight a slurk.
Has a
All right.
camel ever spit on you? Did you punch it in the face? Well, you haven't
If one
fought
ever
yet.
did, I will put it in a full Nelson.
Uh,
Just spit on me, camel? Get
That's
over
how they
here.
say hello. You know, it's like
Mhm.
when a dog wags its tail, it's happy. When these spit at you, they like you.
all right. So how much slime are we talking about here? Like, is it just right in front of the door, or is it
Nickelodeon slime.
As far as you can
Yeah.
see,
as far as I can see?
yes,
But it didn't affect us till just now.
it was. It started. You are basically
We're at the edge.
beginning. You're at the edge, but for the rest of the
Oh,
area,
jeez.
all the way up to where that shack is, and probably past the shack, it's all slime.
It's just slime. That's so gross. All right.
Gonk this guy in the head.
Yeah. Screw this. So Alhara is going to, in fact, gonk the slurk on the head with her bow staff.
Oh, I screwed up.
In what way?
You're flat-footed while you're on the slime.
Why you didn't say that?
I messed up.
Even if you take an action to balance?
Doesn't matter. You're flat-footed while on it, or you're flat-footed no matter what. So, I'll be nice since I screwed up, and I won't give it the effect. But in theory, it should have hit you. But I
You receive DM's blessing.
I guess so.
well, DC 12. It's not even close to hitting this thing with your bow staff. And did you have it out?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you missed.
Shout it out to do our seagull trick.
Yeah, I was using it like a sling, and then I
I
took
thought
the
you were
rope
using your
off.
sling as a sling.
No, it's not a sling. I use rope lore to
Yeah,
use my
she attached
regular
it to the
rope
staff.
and to my staff. So I had like a giant staff sling
Got it.
for the
She
seagull.
whipped it back and forth.
Okay, well, you try to hit it and you miss.
All right, cool.
With
I'm gonna
my
try to hit it
goal
one more
back and
time.
forth.
Don't roll garbage. Oh, well, this time I didn't roll garbage, but I still missed because I rolled another 12. And my third action will be... Now, do I have to spend an action to balance every turn now, or just the once?
Only if you move.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to move, but I don't want to be flat-footed either.
Yep. If you just step just one space back, you might not be flat-footed
Yeah, I'm just
anymore.
going to step out of it. I'm just going to step back.
Okay, that you can do, and you're no longer flat-footed.
All right, cool. Being flat-footed is for the birds,
Hap is up.
specifically dead seagulls.
Okay, no, bad frog, bad, stay back. And then there's seagulls around us. Like, are they flying and stuff?
Not really. I mean, no, they're not going anywhere near you and these frogs. The only reason they came near you guys is because you were spending lots of time to hunt them, and you were carefully putting down food and waiting. So
Okay. Well, I know there are seagulls on the shack, and it's like 30 feet away. Is that right?
it's 60 feet away.
That's not too bad. Because, like, from them, it's a lot closer. All right. No, stay back. And then I'm gonna shoot a seagull with my crossbow.
Okay.
That was unexpected.
Wait, is this stupid? Is this not...
Well, I'm hoping this is part one of some master plan to kill a slurk.
I know. I'm like, sounds great idea to kill a slurk killing a seagull. I don't know how that will work, but go
They're
for
not
it.
gonna choose to eat a seagull 60 feet away when I'm a delicious slab
Yes,
of
they
beef.
will. That's how animals work. They go for the path
No.
of least or different.
No,
I mean, if
not
I
these.
was a slug, I'd be all over
I'm
Darius.
delicious. I'm full
Yeah.
of gravy.
Well, they haven't harmed us, and we haven't harmed them, so I'm not ready to hurt them
They
yet.
shot Spooge at us.
I mean,
They
we
did.
don't-
They split.
Oh, hey, okay,
Oh.
all right now.
Mhm.
I'm
Please kill the
hitting
slurk.
a seagull.
If you could dodge a slurk, you can dodge a.
Mm-hmm.
Alhara, help me. I'm gonna die.
I mean, you're still
Slurk's
standing
got-
out there.
A slurk's gonna eat me.
Okay, you shoot a seagull, you get a 10. You miss the seagull.
Okay.
That's one action.
Okay. I'm gonna use my next action to move like 15 feet back slowly. Like, all right, it's okay. Good froggy, good froggy. And I'd like to use nature to influence the behavior somehow. Like back off. I'd like to influence them. Back off.
That's not how it works.
How about intimidate? Is that how that works?
Yes, if
I'll
you want to use
intimidate.
intimidate.
Yes, I will do that. I will wreathe myself in a little bit of fire and just be like, rah, be spooky.
I'm intimidated.
Ooh.
16.
These dice are not with us tonight.
They were great when I wanted to huck a seagull, and now not so much.
It's against its will DC. So you roll a 16 against its will DC to try to frighten the one in front of you. Fine. Well, you're too far away, so you're going to have to move closer because you have to be within 30
Okay.
feet.
I couldn't see the map. Just, wherever I need to be is fine.
Okay, so you're closer. You try to intimidate, but it doesn't understand the language you're speaking, so you get a -4. So you do not intimidate the slurk nearest to you because it has no idea what you're trying to do.
Okay.
You were close, but not quite.
Well, I tried.
Okay, so slurk number 2 goes, and slurk number 2 sees where this is going, and it too will just hawk a loogie at Alhara.
I really wish they would stop doing that.
27.
Oh,
Oh, gross.
Yucky.
That is going to hit you.
Don't
So
spit on me.
you get hit squarely by Slime Squirt. You are clumsy 1. You take a 5-foot penalty to your speed, and it will take 3 interact actions to remove the gunk and sticky slime that is now covering Alhara.
Alhara's not pleased. Ew, gross. Did you see it? Got me. Oh, gosh.
It then tries to hunk a loogie at Darius. Wow,
Yes.
even at -5. I roll a 21.
Oh, that he rolled a 26 and it's 21.
Yes.
Ugh, I'm hit. I'm hit.
Well, he rolled a 17 plus 9 minus 5. So you two are now covered in slime. So, Clumsy 1, that gives you a -1 to your dex, your AC, reflex saves, range attacks, acrobatics, stealth, thievery, -5 penalty to speed. So, yes, that would be interesting. Plus, you were flat-footed, so it would have hit you either way because you have only a 19.
You were fat-footed.
What he's saying is you deserve this slime,
This is my fault.
obviously.
And the slurk moves closer. Otteron is up.
Let's see. Otteron. We haven't landed any hits on either yet, right?
Nope.
Yeah, that's
Nope.
what I thought. So, Otteron will glare menacingly as they incline their chin at the slurk using Evil Eye. We'll save DC 19.
All right, which slurk? Which number?
Number 2, please.
What's behind slurk number 2?
Slurk number 1.
Slurk number 1 is behind slurk number 2. That's the prize you get.
Yep, we'll save.
10. They fail.
Woohoo, they are frightened 2.
Why frightened 2? That's not a critical failure.
Oh, sorry. Yes, frightened 1. Sorry.
Okay. So they are frightened 1.
And then Otteron gestures at some rocks nearby. Eru Lavoldik, and the rock comes flying at the slurk as they cast telekinetic projectile.
Okay. What number?
2 again.
Okay.
17.
17 will just barely hit it.
Woohoo!
All right, that
You're
beer did
whopping
well.
8 damage.
Although I have to say, you did ruin the no damage on the first round that we were having.
Yep, that's it for me.
Darius, you are up. You are flat-footed. You are covered with slime. You're on slime, but you have 2 slurks right next to you. What are you going to do?
I will take a 5-foot step. Now, in mountain stance, I have +2 against being tripped. Does this count as being tripped?
No, it does not count. You're not being tripped. You are trying to walk across a uneven, slimy surface.
Or I'll trip.
No, or you'll stop.
Or I'll stop.
We'll see what happens, because a lot of things can happen. You see, now that's good. It's 23, but it's actually 22.
Minus 22, right.
But that's still really good. Success, you move up to your speed, treating it as difficult terrain. So
That's fine. I'm only moving there.
so you're totally fine. So it's you're able to successfully move. You're still flat-footed while you're on this because it's all
Fine.
It's like you're fighting on ice.
Sure. And I will do a flurry of blows.
Well, so much for not being mean to the slurks.
You know what? Screw these slurks.
Holy crap! An 18. Yeah, you hit.
Do the minuses hurt me at all? Make it less than that?
Well, it's to your dex, so that doesn't affect your damage.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, so you do 12 points of damage to slurk number 2.
And one more?
And it does not like that. You solidly hit it across the face. And it's like, oh! Well, this is the first time using your +1 falling stone strike.
Yeah.
Attack of
So-
9 will not do it, though.
But how high level is it? Does it get to be stunned?
It can be stunned, potentially. What does it need to roll again?
DC 19.
What does it need to
Constitution?
roll? What type of save?
I think it is a
Your ability. You need to
Constitution
know.
Fortitude save.
Okay.
I do know. Too bad you missed, frog.
So it's just
Stunned 1.
stunned 1. Okay. So it's stunned 1. Now what?
I am done. Right? I
Does that-
moved.
Does that take 1 action?
Oh, I saved. No, that was 1 action to do 2 hits. I
Right.
guess I could move again.
Whatever you want. You tell me. Gotta remember that Oh, he's moving away. He's
I
running away.
move back right next to Alhara.
Slurk number 1 goes. So you're no longer flat-footed. Comes up to you and he says, "You know what? I could use a V8, but instead I'm going to use a Darius." And it tries to eat you!
Oh no.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why not? It's got this huge mouth, and it opens up its jaw, and you could easily fit inside of its mouth.
Yay!
Good to know.
So let's see. You are -1 to your AC, but a 13 will still miss you. So it tries to bite you, and it fails horribly. But then, you know what? It's going to try to bite you again, because why not? Uh-oh, 23. I think is going to hit you. Even with a -5, it still manages to do only 10 points of damage. It's not too bad. But it bites you with these gigantic tusk fangs that it has, and you are now just covered in goo and slime and nastiness. It's lovely. Alhara's up. You're both like covered, and you're just like a big gobbly goop of slime as you're standing next to each other.
That's unfun. Alright, you know what? I'm sick of this. They're gonna douse us in slime. Let's make them roll around in it. Alhara is going to use her bow staff and try and trip the slurk number 2, the one that's been damaged, and is currently 10 feet away. So she reaches out with the thing and tries to sort of trip up its little feet.
Okay.
So this is an athletics check. So it's a 20 athletics against the reflex DC of this thing.
20 athletics against the reflex. And what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to trip slurk number 2.
And remember, its reflexes -1 because of frightened.
Yeah.
Okay. It is tripped, I guess.
It is? Fantastic. Then I get panache, which is amazing. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I realize it's -4, but this slurk is down. Alhara, with her second action, is going to pull out her dagger, and she is going to do a confident finish against the slurk that she just tripped.
It's 10 feet away from you.
Yeah, I'm going to throw my dagger at it.
Okay.
It's going to be tight. Alright, so this is with a -1. I get a 26 against its flat-footed armor class. Oh, I'm sorry. 20, I forgot. 22, because it is my second attack.
Oh, that's
for the
not
round,
impressive
but it's
anymore.
agile.
Then.
It's still good.
And a -1 because
It's included in there, yep. 22
you hit it
versus its AC.
for
That is
6
so cool.
points of damage, and then the precision extra panache was a whopping 3. So
I
you
know,
did
it was
9
really
points
low,
of
but it was still fun. I gotta trip it, and then I gotta pull out a dagger and throw it out on the ground. Screw that slurk. Anyway, that's my 3 actions. I'm very excited.
Very nice.
Thanks.
happens.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, Mr. Frog, but I'm gonna have to burn you now because you're hurting my friends. All right, do I have to move to get a clear shot with a ranged attack?
Definitely.
Okay, then I will do that.
Here's the rule. If something's in front of you, if you can't draw a line between you and what you're trying to hit, you need to move. That's
Okay.
the rule.
Or has
Okay.
cover. Well, soft cover, which is only +1, but cover nonetheless.
Eh. So does that mean if I come over here and draw a line from one
The
corner to
center,
another
it's
corner?
not the corner anymore. it's the
Center?
center.
Okay.
Center
So
to center.
So that's still soft cover from...
Yes, you're gonna have to go all the way around, either way to the left or way to the right. It's no longer
Yeah, you
corner.
essentially just deal with cover most of the time.
Okay, so this isn't going to do it either. Alright, I'll go,
Still gonna have cover.
surely this is good, right? No?
No.
One more.
Well, then she'll have the corner of the.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's only
We'll just
one
go
point.
the other way.
There you
We'll
go.
just
There
go...
you
Look, you either go there,
Over, yeah, we'll go
or you
here.
go, or you go all the way over there. Just
there you go.
stop being fancy. Just go somewhere where there's no longer cover.
Yeah, oh crap, I thought I did.
Well, I'm moving you back to where you were. It's
Yeah,
like, just put yourself where there's no where you have a clear line of
yeah,
sight.
put me right there. This is where I want to be.
Good. I mean, you literally have a tool that lets you draw lines. So
Yeah. I'll just be there. Okay, I'm here, and that's one action, and I'll go ahead and I'll pull my hand down with a twist and leave like a line of flame, which coalesces into Fiery Sparrow, which I'll throw at slurk number 2 with Elemental Toss for 1 action. Oh wait, I don't want to do Elemental Toss. This is just a Produce Flame.
Okay, you hit it. You crit it.
Yeah, crit fire.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All
For
right, it's
minimum damage.
dead. No, it's not. You do
No, it's
20 points
20.
of damage.
That is minimum crit damage for me.
That is minimum crit damage for her.
Oh, haha.
I am our DPS. Those are piddly numbers. But I do set him on fire.
He's super dead.
It's dead.
dead.
Oh, okay.
His corpse is burning.
Exploded. There's nothing left.
I feel bad about this, but it had to happen.
I feel great about this.
And Otteron's up.
Otteron turns their glare upon the first giant frog.
Can you only have one evil eye up at a
Using-
time? Is that how that works?
No, it's complicated. I can have multiple, but it has to be sustained.
27.
Wow. All right.
Critical success. It blows past your silly mind games and does not be affected.
And then repeats the same Eru Lavodik and sends another rock flying at this one. For a
Wow.
26.
Yep, you managed to hit it. Does not crit though.
Dang.
And you do 11 points of damage.
And that is the end of my turn.
Still a nice hit.
Darius is up. Darius is still coated in slime. It has
It
a big
takes
arm
3
hole.
consecutive actions, or can I spend an action?
3 interact actions that do not need to be done in a row.
Great. I do 2 interact actions now, and then 1 action for flurry of blows. So I
Okay.
start slopping this slime off of me. If only this enhanced my musculature, it does not. You'll pay for that, frog. And then I whap whap. First attack. Oh ho! How about the 23?
Yeah, you hit. 8 points of damage. It's still kicking. You're hitting
Second
it
one.
soundly in the
Is a
face.
miss.
11's not even close.
Okay, so if I hit it again, does it make another stunning fist save to continue its condition of stunned 1?
It wasn't stunned.
Oh, that's right, it wasn't. Well, here we go.
Well, was this the one you attacked before?
Oh, maybe it wasn't, because I think I moved closer. That's right, I hit 2. It's the fresh one. DC 19 fortitude save for frog number 1.
Fresh blood.
20.
He does a great job.
Not even close. Alright, Slurk number 1 is up. His buddy just got killed. He just got hit in the face twice. He's
Slurk vengeance.
thinking, what shall I do? It decides
To run and eat a seagull.
to bite Ahara just for that.
Uh-oh.
16 will.
No, not even close.
Yeah, it is. You have a
Minus 1.
You have a 19. That's not that. It's not close. It's pretty close. Missed by 3.
Missed by 3.
It's not that far away. And then it's gonna bite again.
Not afraid of you, frog?
Yep. See, now that's a 13. That's a pretty big miss.
Mm-hmm.
And then it moves there to like the corner. It moves away like to the corner of the temple.
My kingdom for an attack of opportunity.
Okay, you are far away from that frog.
I am, and I threw my dagger into that other slurk. Darn it. Well, there's only one thing to do, and that's go after it, like the tenacious person I am. Ahara is going to essentially slime skate on the slime and try to get over to that slurk. I'm going to go ahead and make my balance check.
Slip and slide. Slip and
Oh
slurk.
my gosh.
11.
11.
Failure. You must stop immediately or fall. As soon as you get
Alright.
5 feet.
That stinks. I guess I'll do that, and then she's gonna like, whoa, okay, it's slipperier than I thought. It's okay, I'm alright. And she's gonna hold her bow staff out and use her last action to parry.
Okay. Hap is up.
It's running away. Don't chase it anymore. We don't have to kill another one. I'm not gonna do anything. Oh, yeah, maybe I will do something.
It'll be here after
Kill
we get
it.
out.
Already in action to attack it if it comes back.
Otteron's up.
I am not sure where it is because my screen won't show me. Are they within 30 feet of me?
No, they're
35.
35.
Yeah, you'll have to move closer to it and possibly into the slime. You could probably step forward and not quite be in the slime, maybe.
Is it very slimy in front of me?
Not right in front of you. 10 feet in front of you it is.
Aderon just moves a few feet forward and repeats, Erulavodik, and sends a rock flying at it.
Why are we killing it?
It's trying to eat us.
Ooh.
It's trying to run away.
You roll a
It
25.
will be here when we get out and try to eat us again.
Well, there's probably dozens of these creatures all over the place, by the way. It's
Are
not-
there? Oh.
Oh, yeah. This is just two of... They're like seagulls. They're all over the place, these things.
Bear in mind that any animal that gets away could relay information to the druids here.
All right, you hit it soundly for 14 points of damage right in the face.
No, stop!
No, it's good.
Their haste is up.
He's doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Big brother, leave it alone!
I spend an interact action to wipe off what's left, right? And I have 2 left.
Okay, well, the gunk is gone.
Okay.
Are free of gunk.
I'm going to run up to it and let's see how this goes and make it 5 feet. So I should move where I want to go or roll then move?
Just roll and we'll see how far you get.
As soon as I get there, that's where it starts, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. 20.
Huh?
You move up your speed, treating it as difficult terrain.
Yay!
Every
So that's-
square is difficult terrain.
So now it's 1, 2, 3. I have 35 feet of movement so I can get to it.
Well, you had to spend an action to do the balance. So you used 2 actions. So keep that.
Oh, the skill check counts as an action. Okay, so it's I move, skill check, and then that
you can
counts as
continue
2.
moving. You can continue.
I can
moving.
continue. Okay, that's fine.
Right, but it's going to count as 2. So unless you can get there in
It's
one,
fine.
okay, you can get there.
I can. I have 35 feet. Difficult terrain. That's still 3 squares or whatever. And I got flurry of blorbs.
No, it's not. That's difficult
No?
terrain. Is no, you need
I was
to get there.
I was right next to Alhara.
Right, to go into it is difficult terrain. Right, so that would be
10, 20,
here.
30. Oh, I'd be right almost. Then put me next to it, and I'll stop.
okay. If you get a critical success, you could have flown across it and slime.
Mhm.
You could have slime skated.
Slime wave.
Well, this is the Slurk's doing. It sees you and it runs away.
Good. Get out of here, Slurk.
It goes around the corner and you can't see it.
Okay. Good.
Actually, I don't think you guys can see it.
I cannot.
Ahara's up. She's covered in gunk.
She's determined. I'm going to try one more chance to balance on this thing, get my footing, and hopefully go after it.
Okay.
28?
28.
Hey.
27. You can move up your speed, treating it as difficult terrain.
Okay, so that's not a crit success.
Missed by 1.
All right.
Shame about that slime all over you.
Alright, so she's going to move up next to Darius, looking for it. Doesn't see it. Alright, I guess we scared it off. It's probably going and telling the druids what's going on. I think I have 1 action left. I'm just going to keep on going. 1, 2, 3. We'll just go forward so I can get around this building and take a look.
If you're done, you don't see it anywhere. Hap is up.
Okay, I was just gonna move, beside Atron and say, if you were worried about the animals telling the druids that we were here, there's 100 seagulls you'd have to kill to get rid of them all.
Yes, but the frogs are obviously antagonistic.
And we're in their territory. Obviously, nobody's been maintaining these grounds or there wouldn't be slime on the stairs.
These are druids. I doubt they care.
Nobody wants slime. Even druids are gonna fall on their bum.
Not
I
even
have-
dirty, filthy druids.
Is Atron doing anything?
Atron's going over to the dead one while saying, I could tell you some
Acrobatics
things
check.
that druids enjoy that might not...
Are we out of initiative?
Not yet.
14, I fall.
Okay.
Well, you don't fall, you just stop unless you
Ah.
want to fall.
Alright, yeah, then Atron stops losing footing and just looks back at Hap. We can't kill every bird, but the frogs, yes.
Okay, so you're out of combat. That slurk is gone. You don't know where it went. It went through a crevice or something in the rocks, in the rock face, or climbed up the wall. The second one is gone. The first one is still there. And
Ataran's going to slowly try to walk over to it.
Okay, well, we'll just be real careful now that we're not fighting dogs.
Yeah, Ataran wants to slowly walk over to the corpse of the one. That okay?
sure, I mean, basically, you're very quick. I mean, you basically have to continuously make acrobatics checks over and over again, and you can slowly walk over. That corpse actually isn't there. That corpse is
Oh.
there. I just
What
moved
happened?
that away.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Even easier. And Ataran wants to look over it and looks to Hap and then kind of frowns, kind of smirks, frowns again, and just shrugs their shoulders, but looks over the corpse. Sees if it has anything interesting, sees if it biologically has anything interesting that Ataran would want to collect, etc.
It's an animal that's very large, and it's covered in slime. It's gross.
So Ataran collects some of the slime in a vial.
Okay, you got it.
Well, I think they're getting at, like, what if it ate a person that had a ring of protection? You know, that kind of stuff.
Oh, certainly wouldn't mind finding treasure too, but Ataran's mostly interested in the biological, but
So I'd like to try something. Well, I'll just ask you, and then you can tell me if I can try it. You know how we sometimes use magic to clean things? May I clean out one square using magic?
Prestidigitation? Is that what you're saying?
Either that one or just some good old fire.
burn it, burn the land, cleanse the earth.
I just want to give myself a little path so I don't have to fall on my bum.
Because, yeah, essentially Alhara is going to, when they feel like they've lost the slurk, very carefully move across the slime until she's out of it, and then go sort of search around the back end of this building, figure out where it might have gone, if it's just hiding, ready to ambush us, that sort of thing.
You're gonna turn and face in enclave of slurks. There's just gonna be 12 of them.
Yeah, they're just sitting there
croaking
like,
at you.
what up?
Yeah.
Ready to croak?
You go around the corner, and you do not know. It probably climbed up the cliff face, which you see up, or it's just gone. So it doesn't look like there's anything near here, so you don't have to worry about it ambushing.
Okay.
Plus, it was nearly dead, so it looked like it was running away, as it did not want to die like its friend.
So the wood shed outface building is the one closest to us, and the stone one with scorch marks is the one farther away, or the opposite?
The one to the west is the stone. The one to the north is the wood.
All right. And it seems smaller, I think.
Much smaller.
Yeah. So Ataran would say perhaps we look into the smaller building. It may be just supplies, or perhaps maybe some smaller testing facility. This scorch marks maybe lightning or fire. It's hard to tell with druids.
Sure. Alhara will slowly make her way through the slime up to... And she spends the 3 actions, by the way, to get the slime off of her during this time. But she's going to do that and then move her way up to the shed and start checking around in front of the door and also on the door for any sort of pressure plates or traps or anything.
Okay, you look around and you don't see anything. I mean, if anything, the doors look like it is completely unlocked. It's a weathered wooden shed. It obviously has been heavily abused by the wind and the waves. There's a ton of seagull crap covering this shed, and as you approach, they fly away, angrily squawking.
Oh, and during this time, Alhara grabs her dagger back, just in case.
Can I clear a path for myself up there?
Sure.
Alright, I would like to clear a path for myself.
Okay.
Atron would nod. That is a good idea in case we have to be a hasty retreat out of here.
What? Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
So I guess just draw wherever you're clearing
Okay.
out. The door does not seem to be securely locked.
All right, let's see what's inside.
Let's be quiet in case you will need to sneak ahead.
Are you opening the door?
Mhm.
You open the door. It is a shed. There
Okay.
there's some supplies in here. Looks like there's a cart and wooden crates. That is all you see.
Ooh, I want to see.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a little time and search around this room then. So I'm going to use the exploration activity search.
Same.
You search. You find weathered crates. They appear to all be empty. And the cart. There is nothing in this shed worthwhile. It looks like it is literally a shed for carts and crates. And that's it.
Okay.
Atron stays at the door watching and listening, just in case anything approaches from outside.
It kind of stinks in here.
The cart's functional?
Cart works.
Hey, we have
Atron
something to put loot on.
Yes, Atron frowns slightly. I was actually hoping maybe the mayor would be here hiding. No such luck.
I wonder if the animals got him.
Yeah, I'm afraid we probably aren't really going to find the mayor, at least not in one piece. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
I am more concerned he will be possessed, but we shall see.
Do druids also do possession? Druids seem to do a lot of stuff.
No, I do not know of demonic partnership with druids, but perhaps it is just a coincidence here. Druids aren't accustomed to demonic activity as far as I know, considering they are not of the natural world.
Maybe they were corrupted by something.
Yes, the other druid at least seemed worried about corruption and didn't have demonic affiliation, so...
But she was driven mad by something.
Yes.
But didn't we see...
She was unreasonably upset.
And I thought, didn't we see a summoning circle, or was that for the methods?
Yes, there was some sort of circle.
I'm kind of wondering if these druids are even home. Like, this place seems really just unkept. Maybe the demons killed the druids.
Oh, you are not joking. Like I said, I do not think druids would worry about
Well,
that.
we just killed
slime
a
and
bunch of
such.
birds, and we killed that big frog thing. You would think that some animal druids would come out and say something about that.
Keep in mind, it is pretty loud out here. I mean, you're right next to a loud sea crashing against the waves. It's not like, beautiful, quiet, lovely day.
I am accustomed to druids living more in the wild, but this is still...
You're accustomed to druids?
Yes, and
Wait, what? You hate druids?
this is...
Druids gone on about how druids are bad. And
I do
druids
not
this
hate
and
them,
druids that.
but yes, I am accustomed to druids, especially not good ones. So, but this is a temple of Gozre, so perhaps that is the difference. Perhaps we will find some priests and not just
Okay.
druids.
All right.
I'm going to do... It takes about 10 minutes to do all this. I'll take some time to treat my wounds.
Good call.
Okay. Treat wounds. Let's see if you can actually succeed.
Dun 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 dun.
You succeeded like once in like 3 months. Here we go.
No, I did it well last time.
Ooh,
Yeah, good.
18.
Ooh, you rolled a 9.
Well,
Wow.
being an expert really helps.
Mhm.
Have you
Also,
ever rolled above a 10?
I heal 5 extra
Oh,
because
really?
of my godless healing.
Oh,
You're
that's true.
healing. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, give me a check. How much you heal?
Check.
Yeah,
Oh,
roll
yeah.
2d8.
Throw a die. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
2d8 plus 5, so...
Let's roll the dice.
Roll the dice.
Oh my gosh. Snake eyes.
7. I like it. A 1 and a 1.
Don't
That is
spend it
what
all in
you
one
deserve.
place.
Does that even get you back up? You healed yourself up to full, thinking
Thinking I would do it.
Yes.
Yep,
Put yourself back down.
I did. I'm 41 out of 44. F
Jeez.
this.
You thought, oh, I'd be able to easily make 10 hit points. No,
thought
you
so.
did not. You did
I
not.
am so sorry, Rob.
This is amazing.
Good
This
for
game
you.
is great.
Now, here's the interesting thing, Rob.
Heathens.
When you do that godless healing and you try to give yourself those extra hit points, your wrist burns with pain right where that mark was. It really hurts for.
It's not still there, is it? Like I check under my fist
yeah.
wraps.
Not only is it
Oh.
there, it's redder and stronger than ever before. Every
Oh.
day, it appears to be getting redder and darker and more prominent. And you almost swear it's starting to glow at this point. And by doing that, you actually feel pain shoot through your arm. Now, not enough to give you negative on your hit points, but it takes you about a minute before it dissipates.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
You mess up again, Darius?
No, I'm quite all right.
None of you know anything about this.
Well, no, but like he's in a
I
minute of
do
pain.
wince. I
Yeah.
do wince.
So like I just assumed that yet again you messed up your medicine check.
He did.
No, I rarely mess it up to hurt somebody. I do certainly fail it to not help anybody.
Anyhow, you heal almost everything, but it's still there. It's throbbing.
All right. Well, it's kind of covered up. I'm not going to deal with this now. Shall we knock, Alhara?
No. There's a subject at hand. Atron.
What's the subject?
We're dealing with druids who have caused quite a mess. And you've been
Yes.
pretty clear about not liking druids in general for no reason that you stated, but now you're telling us that you're familiar with evil druids and you haven't brought this up?
Yeah, no, she's got a point. What's that all about?
I was raised by druids, but they do not live here.
I didn't say that they lived here. Why don't you tell us what you know that might help us against these ones?
Fine. I know about the Shades of Uskwood, who had to raise me in the Dal, and they are not these druids. They worship Zankuthon, they favor death, and they decorate the Uskwood with the corpses of the people who trespass. How is that?
That sounds pretty terrible.
It is terrible, thank you.
Well, okay. I don't know why you wouldn't mention it. So tell us about druids
I do
and
not
what we can
like
expect.
tormenting people with my upbringing. It is
not a
not a
torment.
good thing.
I know,
Hey,
but
we
all
can
have
talk
gone
about
through
this
bad
later,
stuff.
you guys.
We can't. We can't if there's information that Atron knows that they're not sharing with us.
Well,
I
they
know
obviously
about
don't want to
druids.
talk about it.
The Shades dealt with vermin often. There are many forms of spiders and centipedes and things in the Uskwood. It is a perverted, corrupted place of darkness and growth, but yet plants still survive there. That is why I said that sometimes druids will do dark things for survival, as many of the Needlese people did, my people, but this is not them. Yet still I do not trust most druids because of my childhood, adolescence, life.
You're
I mean,
impossible.
doesn't that mean you're part Druish?
No.
Okay, while you guys are talking and making a huge racket of like trying to figure out Atron's history,
They were all cagey about it, and it's relevant.
I'm sure it was. The door opens up as you were making a lot of noise. And when the door opens up, you see a man who has a long beard, long hair, gray robes, hide armor, a large wooden shield, and a trident. And he opens up the door, looking at you, and says, "The storm rises!"
Oh, well, hello to you too, sir. The storm rises.
Roll for combat!
Oh, that was just a druid greeting. I will say it back. And now we get zapped.
You've been listening to Roll for Combat 3-Ring Adventure, a Pathfinder actual play podcast. If you have a question or comment for the show, please visit us at rollforcombat.com. You can also find us and play various games on our Discord channel at discord.rollforcombat.com. You've been listening to Roll for Combat. Until next week, always remember that no Tom Hankses were harmed in the making of this podcast.